So you can't go anywhere on the internet without hearing about the thing called Stop Killing Games, right? Stop Killing Games has been around for a while now, and only now recently with the drama that's happening with pirate software does all of a sudden Stop Killing Games really start getting into massive motion. There was a bunch of huge content creators, they were all covering Stop Killing Games, and now Stop Killing Games has officially surpassed not just 1 million signatures, but it actually has officially surpassed 1.184 million signatures, which is absolutely insane. So this number has exploded through the roof. And once it passed 1 million signatures, that has now forced Video Games Europe to actually have to respond to Stop Killing Games. And they've made an entire statement that we are going to go over. There's an article here from PC Gamer breaking it down from the show perspective. And it says European Game Publisher Group responds to Stop Killing Games and claims that these proposals would curtail developer choice, which again, I find that to be hilarious because the developers are saying, well, you're taking away our choice while also taking away the player's choice. It's like you guys are taking away the choice of the gamers to actually keep access and keep playing the thing that they bought with their money, which is the entire point of buying products. And again, this is why I feel like when it comes to digital rights, we are way behind. When it comes to digital rights, there needs to be a massive push for digital rights for consumers. And it doesn't just have to do with video games. Anything that's digitally purchased has to have better rights attached to it. Because right now, these companies are getting away with literally whatever the hell they want to get away with at the, behest of the consumer. Like we are the ones that get screwed and they are the ones that benefit. I think it's amazing to see these developers desperately try to defend the fact that they can sell you a product and 5 years later, after they took all your money, not just you, but everybody else that bought it, after they took your money, they can say, well, we don't want to support it anymore. And it's gone. And you don't have access to it whatsoever, and your money is wasted. I think it's insane. I'm sure they wouldn't like it if they spent money on something and then all of a sudden a couple of years later it gets taken away from them. I'm sure that would piss them off big time. But in any case, we have this article that says this weekend the Stop Killing Games movement reached a critical milestone to become a European citizens initiative, but not everyone is on board. Video Game Europe's a trade association representing game developers and publishers in the EU released a statement on Friday pushing back against Stop Killing Games. Now, of course, there's going to be some pushback. We're just going to get right into the statement and then we'll come back to the article after. But of course, there's going to be pushback, right? You are asking these developers to do something they don't want to do. If they wanted to do it, they would have did it already, right? It's very clear that they don't want to do it for a multitude of reasons. Sometimes it has to do with the fact that they're just lazy, right? If they want to kill off a game because they can't afford to continue supporting the game, then they just want to do it, right? They don't want to come up with an idea or a way to offer an offline mode, or if it's an online kind of game, they don't want to offer a means to give gamers I guess the means of making servers or whatever the case would be. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They rather just kill the game completely because it's easier for them and they get to keep all the money and they can move on to do whatever they want to do without having to spend any more money to try to fix the problem, to ensure that the gamers that spent their money on their product get to keep their product, because they don't care about you keeping your product. They only care about keeping your money. That's it. But here's a statement from Video Games Europe, and of course it's as tone deaf as you can ever expect. So let's break down this entire statement, because we all know this statement is complete BS just from looking at it. It says, we appreciate the passion of our community. They clearly don't. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, which it is, but there are definitely solutions that are available. They're just not solutions that most developers want to explore. Just being honest with you, never taken lightly, definitely taken lightly. It must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable. So commercially viable is the biggest pinpoint here, in my opinion, because what this is basically saying is that if they can't make money off of it, they don't care whether or not you get to keep it or not. That's basically it, right? So if there is no option for them to make it commercially viable, then they don't care about there being options to make you be able to keep your game. They say, we understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures the players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. They're really not. That's the funny thing. Lately, they've been giving much more notice, but it doesn't really matter because it's not about the notice, right? It's not about, oh, you didn't give me enough time to enjoy my game before you took it away from me. The entire point is stop taking it away from me, right? Stop killing games. That is the entire point of the movement. That's the entire point of the message. It has nothing to do about whether or not you're giving me enough time for you to kill my game. It's about stop killing the damn game. Private servers are not always a viable alternative option for players. Yes, they are. They've worked many times before. They've been working for decades. You mean to tell me all of a sudden it's not a viable option? No. If you put it in place to allow people to do this, it would be a viable option, depending on the kind of game. I think the only game that would be an issue is obviously MMORPGs, like true, actual MMORPGs. But aside from that, there really shouldn't be a problem for a lot of the smaller scale online games. I mean, what are you talking about? By the time these games get to the point where they potentially get killed, what do they have? Like 10 to, I don't know, 100, 200 people playing them at any given time. It's really not that hard to run a private server for that. But in any case, let's continue. They say private servers are not always a viable option because of the protection we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and will leave rights holders liable. The simple truth is that when you release the game to the point where you're going to let private servers become a thing, you wash your hands with all legalities, right? Because at this point, you are letting the game be community ran, and the game is the only, like the actual real game, the main game, whatever the game was when it was first bought. That is what you are legally responsible for. Anything else after that, that is the result of whoever partakes in it. That's really it. I don't think you would have many issues at all. I think people would actually be very thankful that they will be able to have private servers to continue playing the game. But again, in addition, many titles are designed from the ground up to be online only. To be fair, a lot of them are not, right? Most of them can have an offline mode. We have seen it happen multiple times. Look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. As terrible as that game was, it does have an offline mode now. You can play it offline. So there's nothing wrong with it. There are plenty of games. You mean the crew can only be online? Are you serious? Of course not. You can definitely play the crew offline. You should have been able to play the crew offline. They could have put an offline mode for that game, but they chose not to, and they chose to kill it, which is why they're being sued right now. Then it says, in effect, these proposals would curtail developer choice by making these video games prohibitively expensive to create. Sure, but you're also, by doing this, you are also prohibiting the choices of the player, right? Because then you're going to say, well, just don't buy it. Well, they want to buy the product. The person wants to buy the product and own the product and keep the product. You are the ones who are killing the games once you have the money of the players. It's such a simple concept. When you really think about it, this should be one of the easiest, most simple concepts to ever imagine. Stop killing games, right? Just let the games be preserved. That way we don't lose them to time. A lot of video games are being lost to time. They're being lost to history, which is why emulation is so huge and so important. Now, these companies don't like emulation because what it is that they want to be able to stop the game whenever they want so they can keep the money, not have to keep running the game. And then on top of that, too, if they want to later down the line, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if they want to resell you that game for, like, I don't know, $10 or something, if they want to resell you the game as either a single buy or maybe it's part of a subscription service, like GameCube games are right now for Nintendo Online, if they want to sell you these games again, they can because they know that they're the only way you could get the game, which is why they want to stop emulation, which is why they want to stop physical buying. They don't want there to be any physical games. They want everything to be digital because they know that there is no rights right now for digital protection. Zero, almost zero anyway. Very little rights regarding digital purchases. So they know they have full control over that. They can get away with pretty much murder at this point, and they want to go down that route. So I guess we're going to see what ends up happening ultimately with Stop Killing Games, but I do think this is great that it has actually passed this amount of signatures. If I were to refresh this and see if it gained any more, it gained 2,000 more since I started filming this video. So this thing is flying up there faster than it ever did before. It's only a matter of time before it hits the overdrive 50% point. And I can see this thing definitely hitting the 1.4 million signatures all the way up to 100%. I could definitely see it happening. But how fast is going to happen now that things are starting to cool down? I really don't know. But we need to absolutely keep up the pressure. Stop Killing Games is becoming one massive statement that should have been around for a long time. Stop killing our damn game. Stop taking the money that we give you for the product that you are selling. Anywhere else in the world, this is unacceptable. This is like if you spent money on a car and all of a sudden the car had an end date that you didn't even know about. And then 5 years after buying the car, well, then that's it. It just shuts off and never turns on again and says, sorry, this is the end date for your vehicle. Please trade it in and get another. Well, actually, no, don't even trade it in because it's not even worth anything. We don't want it back. Just buy our new car. That is so ridiculous, man. This thing is so stupid. So we're gonna see what happens, like I said, with Stop Killing Games. But we can all thank Pirate Software for making this go down in the way that it did, because his ego and his hubris, he definitely got us to a massive influx of signatures. Not only that, all the people that covered it, all the content creators that covered it. This is great to see, and I hope to see that it does hit, that it's 100% overdrive over time. So you guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this? Do you think this is great? Do you think this is stupid? Do you think Pirate Software had nothing to do with it? Do you think he had everything to do with it? What do you think about Stop Killing Games and all the discussion around it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.